Guys, I'm starting season 2 today. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm actually not starting season 2. We're doing some prepping work for it. Doing some prepping. I come in.
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Hey, Zach. Zach is here in my house uninvited.
How's it going?
What are you doing here?
Dude, I heard you were starting the podcast again. I wanted to be the first guest. Can I have me on it?
Yeah,
Ready to
it's
go,
just
right?
it's my house. I didn't get
Yeah,
you didn't tell me you were coming, but okay.
It's a nice
Yeah,
house.
sure.
Let's do it.
All right.
You don't know me, and you never will, 'cause you can't buy my time. Let's be serious, you're delirious. You're just a rich kid on a full ride.
Okay. Dude, gosh, we're at season 2. This is weird. Ugh. Get out the shakes, Zach. I gotta
What's
get out
up,
the shakes. Okay, so we're back for season dose now, and I have a new set. I like it. Jake, you like my new set? It's not bad, right? You like my new set,
I do.
dude?
They can't see the rug, but it's really nice.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it is a nice rug, dude. So Jake and I set up these shelves yesterday,
Nice.
and I like the shelves. I'm not gonna lie.
It gives us a nice framing to the set.
Dude,
I'm a fan.
I'm so proud. Okay, so we're going to go into an intro because my big goal with Tukr'D Out is I want to make sure I try my best to give a Grammy-worthy intro. I think I give Grammy-worthy intros, but we'll see. People tell me otherwise sometimes. But I'm with an incredible musician that has some of the best written songs, in my opinion. Very true. He's so good to see live, and I've gotten to see you a couple times. He has a song that has passed 40K on Spotify. Very, very good song. And then he is an incredible father, and also he has someone that has saved me in events before. Zac Robins is here in the house, in my house.
Yes.
Interesting fact, we're shooting in my house. Yep. This is season 2. You're the first guest on season 2, and you're a friend of mine.
Man, thanks for inviting me.
Dude, thank you so much for
Pleasure.
coming. The first thing I was trying to think of, because I always I want this to be just flowing. So I was like, what is a good topic that I can just play around with and talk with? And I was like, well, we might have to just go back to where we first met, because I think that's, because I'm the one that spotted you. It's not like you were anywhere. It's like, who's that guy? It was kind of a Delirious type situation, but I didn't say nothing.
Well, it was interesting because you asked me about if I had ever heard of So Far and stuff when we first met. You were hosting So Fars at the time.
That's right.
And I had vaguely been aware of it, and when I looked into it, I was like, oh, this is something that people are applying to and doing all this stuff for.
You didn't know about So Far?
I was not very aware of it, no. I mean, I'd seen some people do it and been kind of but I had no vision of what that was. So
I thought you knew. See, my brain thinks that all musicians that are in Charlotte area have an idea of what, because what's funny is a lot of these musicians they don't at all.
Yeah.
At all. And it's also interesting because Lisa, for example. So Lisa DeNovo, shout out.
Yeah.
Hi Lisa. She's done So Fars, but a lot of the people that she's brought up for those songwriting rounds have never heard of So Far.
Right.
And I'm like, what am I doing? And then I realized that So Far, shouts out to So Far. They're very good, but they have such an intricate system, and it's and I kind of get why it's okay. You want to have, people may know about So Far, but you want the right person to perform a So Far.
Right. Because
certain people, they I don't know, there's just a vibe that you want to make sure you're fitting. But we met because I was like, I badly want you on a show that I'm putting on. And then I'm trying to think when we did the show. It was definitely a while back.
Yeah. Well, that was just that was kind of one of the cool things about meeting you was, there's tons of people who were trying to meet you and get these things happen, but we just kind of ran into each other and, things got set up.
And that's what's interesting. I think one thing that helps my situation out when I met you is if I already know that you can like kind of perform and you have your own songs, it helps out my mental a lot.
Yeah.
And there's a couple people that I've put on shows where I saw beforehand where it's just like, oh, thank Lord. Like, I don't have to be kind of proven because I get nervous about that.
Yeah.
When I put on shows, I want to make sure that, because a lot of sometimes these so far shows are pretty large. Like, they're large for like a local community standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
And you showed me immediately that you were good. And man, there's some of those songs, which we'll get into. We're not going to get into yet, but like, some of the songs were so specific. The story, and that's why I say at the beginning, like the storylines are so, like, I don't know how to really put it into words, but we'll talk about that.
It's so interesting that you say that because, like, I don't really feel like I'm a great storyteller. Like,
really,
that's one of the things like I struggle with social media campaigns and like some of this other stuff is
we
like it's all
media.
Storytelling.
Don't you love social media? We love social media.
I love the opportunity to meet and reach people, but
that's a nice way.
Social media can be, people are looking for these big story arcs, and I feel like a lot of my songwriting is really around perspective. Like I'm writing my perspective of things, and I'm trying to tell stories, but I've never felt like a great storyteller.
Well, you do. Like, okay, we'll go into the music for a hot second because I want to dive a lot deeper. But Delirious is a great story.
You got an FBA driving an MKC. Buy all the stone car in the fast lane. You try to impress us with the access the money brings you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a good story. And what I think is great is that it's and this is how I think I write. And me and you have attempted to write together. I think it was more of a therapy session, but
fun.
It was nice. Honestly, I liked it. But Delirious, and here's the cover. Things are gonna pop up like right here. So something. Delirious is right there. Delirious is good in my opinion because it doesn't take long. Like if you really were in the moment of what you're talking about in Delirious, which is about a guy interrupting a show and pretty much like saying, "Hey, can I jump in with you guys?" He's drunk. He's trying to impress someone. And you, as the band, are telling the story from your perspective of how you're denying him.
Right.
So, and pretty much saying, like,
it's going to be a hard
bro.
no. Yeah.
Nah, it's not going to happen. And I love it because, like, it's probably a very quick moment.
Right.
Like, I want to hear the story behind that because there's a story. There has to be. It's not like you came up. Please tell me there's a story.
So, it's kind of a couple stories. It's a couple stories.
It's happened
like,
a couple times?
Things like that have happened,
yeah.
Like people wanting to join or like sometimes they'll come up to you on break. I think one of the things that like really, really kind of cemented how that whole section in the middle, because like there's a part where, we have my friend Stephen Hall is like playing the role of the drunk guy.
We got a photo of Stephen Hall?
Hall?
What's up, Stephen?
So like he's kind of playing the role of the drunk guy and kind of going through and wanting to
you
impress
do
this
live,
girl.
by the way. You do the drunk guy live when you perform.
Yeah, I usually improv that, but it was so cool in the studio to do it like a skit.
Gosh.
Like that was a lot of fun. But I remember I was playing a Saturday night show at Goldie's in Charlotte.
Goldie's. Here's Goldie's.
I love Goldie's.
Where Lisa hosts. Yep.
But there was this one girl who she was so drunk and she had fought her way at the front.
Oh no.
To request song after song after wanting to sing after she had something to say between every single song for like 25 minutes, and I was just like, I remember going home after that and it was funny. Like it's not like I was like irritated at her, but like I went home and I was just like thinking about that, and like the skit started like crafting further and further in my head.
Well, and it sounds like Goldie's was packed at that moment.
Yeah, it
was.
It
was a packed house. And
it was.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the one side, and maybe
we
can
to sing.
Well, and here's the thing. This is where I feel like comedy and music kind of meet sometimes in the middle.
Yeah,
because you have to have like crowd control if you're performing at a bar specifically or something like that. And I fear that. I'm telling truth here. Like, see, people are gonna see this and be like, Tucker, if that's your fear, you need to get over that shit. But like for me, I am not a fan of. It's hard to say no sometimes. And I wouldn't like allow someone to come on stage probably if I had like an exact set and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like crowd control is a big deal in those, because that's a lot of early starting musicians or like musicians that are more on the local circuit. Like that's what you have to deal with, maybe.
Well, you gotta pick and choose your moments. I've invited people on stage before. I've had.
You've told
things.
me that.
You can tell.
But
like,
they had musician backgrounds. You said.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, like, that's kind of the funny thing I've learned over the years of performing is like, really, why do we play, Don't Stop Believing for the 400th time or Tennessee Whiskey? Like, dude, I hate playing Tennessee Whiskey.
Really?
It's my least favorite song to play live.
It is played
because I've played it so many times.
Everywhere.
However, why do people come out? Why do people enjoy music and shows? Because they want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of the show. They want to sing along. They're
the reason for the show sometimes.
Yeah, that's the reason. It's an emotional release one way or another, whether it's a party atmosphere or, whether it's an intimate setting like, what you'd created with Sofars and stuff.
Yeah.
People want that emotional release and to be a part of something.
And
so sometimes that's wanting to join the band.
They'll release it. Anyway, y'all need to check out Delirious. Fire song. It's on my playlist. It's incredible. Another song that we'll talk about in the future is She's a Judge. That to me is like, here's the cover art of it. I wanted to ask, what I thought you had an EP, but all those songs are like separated.
Yeah. So
is that not a thing anymore? Or am I?
No, I mean it's just kind of experimenting with release strategies and marketing.
Okay.
So kind of a bit of a botched release. Yeah, no, it is. All of those singles are going to come out on a collection.
Yeah.
I want to say December 6th. So they're all going to pop out with unified cover art. So one of the ideas that we had when we were doing this was to take my friend Natalie Robinson. You can look her up, Natalie Robinson Art. She is a mural artist. And so we created this big mural scene and then sectioned them off. And she,
so wait, all those
them
songs are in
singles.
one photo?
Yeah.
That's so smart.
That's what's going to drop on the 6th is the unified scene.
My gosh.
And then she kind of like redrew them and shrunk them down to be individual
Jake, that's
covers.
a new one, Jake. You hear, that's a new one. We wouldn't think of that. We're not that smart. Well, we maybe would. I don't know.
One of the things we noticed was like, even we had Dave Harris master it over at Studio B Mastering.
Yes.
And I asked him, I was like,
I love the video of you guys like listening back to Delirious. I think it was.
Well, like it's cool because like he was putting the touches on everything and finding a way to make it sound like one project.
Yeah.
And just kind of like getting the mastering. I was like, did we include enough genres for you? And he's like, well, I think you got like 9 genres and 6 tracks. So yeah, you're doing great. But
and you wait, I want to speak on Unstoppable. Here's a cover art because first of all, most popular song on streaming platforms for you.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, that cover art. Here's the cover art. Fire. I don't know how you did that. We'll talk
Stephen
about it
Hall
later.
did that actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Fire.
He took that picture.
I love that. I just like, I don't know what was put on it because there's obviously probably more type of effects put on it. Great cover art. And we talked about this before. That song has Knox vibes. And I remember mentioning like, dude, you know Knox. Here's Knox.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of my favorite artists. I don't know if you've ever like maybe thought of that, but when I first heard Unstoppable, which is the first time like I saw you at Goldie's.
Yeah.
And heard that song, I was like, oh shoot, he has like Knox, like
man, that's the biggest
Cam
compliment.
Becker.
I love Knox,
dude.
Love Knox. I got to see him live from side stage.
Don't even talk about that moment because I'm
one of
still
my favorite
jealous
concerts
of that darn
ever.
moment. Gosh, Jake, he went to a Knox show. You know, I listen to Knox because Jake will be in my car.
Yeah,
and Jake and I will, when we drive places, I'm like, Jake, have you heard the song? Every time it's a no. He's like, no, I haven't heard the song. And it's every time a no. And
Jake, what are you listening to?
He listens to great music. He listens to it's like I like a lot of his music. It's a little bit more like old classic rock, right? And then like some pop sprinkled in there a little bit, but it's not like Knox. Like Knox is very specific. But I'll just be like, "Have you heard this song by Knox?" No. And I'll just play it nonstop and just sing it at the top of my lungs in the car while he's in the car, and I'm very not apologetic about that, which I'm proud of. But I wanted to mention that like Unstoppable sounds like a Knox song partly, but that's I wanted to give you props, and I wanted to just ask you about a big part of your life because I think it's always impressive to talk about fatherhood. I've had a few guests just mention great stories about fatherhood, and I just wanted to like ask you how that's been and how what life was like before and then like what life was like kind of after and just things you noticed. maybe that have changed?
I mean, things are a lot more spontaneous, I think, before kids. You know, that's
what, they weren't spontaneous enough when you were a musician without kids?
Well, I mean, that's kind of the things. Like, it's pretty spontaneous when you don't have kids. You can pick up, you can go, you can, you know, start whatever.
That's true.
A lot of the things I do now require a lot more planning. Because I want to consider being there for them. Like, I don't really travel much anymore. I don't try to, you know, tour or do anything, even with the new release. I'm not taking weeks and weeks away. You know, I used to love going out to the beach and playing shows at the beach and stuff like that. I don't really do that anymore because I've got, you know, new things that I love about life.
Yeah.
You know, I love hanging out with my kids on the weekend, going to Carowinds, doing stuff like that, you know. Because my boys I've got 2 boys, they're 12 and 8.
I was about to say, they hit the height requirements, they're good.
Yeah, I mean, we're, we have a lot of fun, you know, and they have a lot of, you know, extracurriculars that have a lot of time, you know, so, my one son, he's a black belt now in Taekwondo, my oldest, and my youngest just started
black
Taekwondo.
Belt at 12?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so like, you know, those kind of activities, you know, you're investing as a father, you don't just invest in yourself anymore. You're investing in other people. And, you know, so I love being able to be there for them more than, like, my dad was ever present in my life and one of my best friends ever. However, he also had to work like 70 hours a week just to take care of us. And I've been very fortunate where I don't have to work, you know, that ridiculous schedule. You know, but then there's the balance of, you know, being a bit of a prima donna and wanting your own musical things and the things you've worked your whole life for, and then, you know, being 100% present for your kids too. It's a juggling act.
What advice would you give for people that are about to be fathers? I actually have a couple friends that, like, I have a pretty good friend who I kind of partly work with who just had a kid like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy for him. But what's advice you'd give for maybe right now new fathers or about to be new fathers?
Man, asking the hard questions today.
I like hard questions. We're bouncing around, but I like hard questions.
I would say check in on your priorities often. So, you know, for me, you think you get to places in fatherhood where you've got it figured out, right?
Yeah.
We've got to figure it out at that stage in their development and at that stage in yours. And it's good. And there's a lot of times there's certain ages that are like really easy, certain ages that are really hard, etc. But everything is always in motion. Everything in life is always fluid. Change is the only thing that never changes, right? So it's a constant.
My ADHD brain got hurt there. It's like, yeah.
You got to pause every little bit and say, okay, are my priorities still aligned with my goals? Are my priorities in the right place? You know, am I pushing really hard on something when I should be paying attention to something over here? And, you know, I think that's the best advice I could give anyone is just, you know, do a constant check-in, you know, even if it's just once a month, you know, are my priorities still aligned with my goals?
Listen up. Come on now. Listen up, people. There's two people I can think of. I'll send you this directly. Listen up. Another thing that I found incredibly interesting, and I wrote down specific questions because I was like, I know there's got to be an interesting story and some of these things that you told me, because I always ask for like interesting, weird facts from the artists that I interview. And one thing that you said is like you have a collection of like unique, or I'm guessing you still look for unique like things involving music that could be like instruments or like in music that are just like rare and kind of like collectibles. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I was gonna ask like, I feel like I have so many questions to ask there because that's something that I don't have friends that collect. Jake, you collect anything? Okay, I don't think I collect anything specific when it comes to rarity. Yeah. And so I'm curious, like, first off, what was the hardest find, and then second of all, what is something that you're still looking for that you like is like the top of rare that is maybe a possibility, maybe not.
So I guess it's just something I immerse myself in because I'm a complete nerd, especially like when it comes to things like gear. I love musical equipment. We've seen those
colorful guitars.
Yeah, musical equipment that does something that other guitars just won't do, or other pedals and stuff like that. And I haven't really had anything that I think was like, a chase, like something that I was like
Really?
specifically looking for.
Okay.
But I do like coming across things that I think are unique and interesting, or like certified. Like I just bought the other day, and I'll send you a picture of it.
Please do.
I haven't even posted it online. It's a Jack White limited edition triple caster
From him?
I got it from Fender. It's a Fender
Is
Jack
it
White
his guitar?
collaboration.
It's collab.
Yeah, like they just released it. It's like for this year only, I think.
Okay.
And it comes with like a certificate of authenticity. That really colorful guitar that I posted up a couple weeks back.
The one where you holding it and you're like, dude,
yeah,
this thing doesn't even need lighting. That one?
That's a collaboration with Zed, who's this amazing producer, DJ.
Of course.
Yeah.
Kidding me? Stay, baby.
Yeah.
Stay. Love Zed.
And that was also, I was able to get one of the first 25, which was authenticated.
I 25.
Yeah.
23rd.
Mine was the 23rd. Yeah.
I remember facts. I'm doing my research.
So
That's
like
awesome.
stuff like that is just like that brings me some joy. Having unique things like that probably will grow in value over time.
Heck yeah. I got a couple things where I'm like, if we're talking about growing value, and Jake, you can roast me on this, but I have it. I have like an NC State Coke bottle from the 1983 championship. I don't know if it's the game, but it's like during that season, bought from either Reynolds Coliseum, or I'm guessing that's where they were playing. And it's still somewhere, like with the Coke in it. Yeah. And it's never been opened.
Dude, some of that stuff will go up in value.
I think
I used to have a set of Carolina Panthers Coke bottles, kind of the same situation, and
For what good year? Name one.
It was like for the first
Jake, you
year.
can laugh at that.
It was for the first year when people had
okay.
hope.
When the inaugural, okay. I'll give you that one.
And I don't know. I gave it away to somebody, and I saw them online a while back. And they were worth like a bunch of money now. I was like, oh man.
He sold that. You knew it was the one you gave him?
Yeah. No, I just gave it away. Like, I just saw like how much they go for now, and I was like, oh. I don't even know the person I gave it to now.
There's probably a couple things in this house that like. If I sold, I would, I'd put a large price tag on. Nothing that like I use on the usual. I just don't.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if you feel this way, because I can relate to you on some of these like collectible items, like these bracelets. Like, I think people that know me like know that I wear these like just bracelets every day. Like, these cost more than like diamonds to me, because they're so specific to how I think, and they have such a deep representation of like my happiness.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
So. Spooky Season.
Okay.
Y'all see, we're in October. Spooky Season. That is a song by an artist that has like, when I listen to that artist, I'm in such a full happy spot. Like, and I've had really down days where like music has really brought me out of some crap.
Yeah.
And I don't think I feel like music does does a lot of things for people. But one thing it does for me, which is interesting, is even if it's a sad song, like I'm happy when like singing that song, because like I love singing to the songs. The lyrics, there will be times where the lyrics hit, right? Like the lyrics will hit, but a lot of the times it's just I love being able to sing to the songs.
Yeah.
So like some of the songs that like Kid Travis makes, shout out to Kid Travis, love Kid Travis. Someday he'll be on the pod. Someday. He has a song called Spooky Season, and I love the song. There's like a couple versions of it. Like there's a Spooky Season 2020, there's a Spooky Season 2, there's a Spooky Season 3. And then my favorite is a Spooky Season 3, but it's sped up. And like, it just, anytime I listen to those songs, I'm nowhere else except for like in the car singing. Yeah. And it is a reality check that I need every day. Like, because I'm listening, interesting fact about Tucker, I listen to about I would put it up there at around 4 hours of music like every day. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And it's like, and it allows me to be very calm in certain situations. Like I had to listen to there's a couple songs I listened to on the way here getting ready for the pod.
Yeah.
And like I'm so happy that those things exist.
No, I think that's super true. I think music has a way of not just grounding you, but also kind of informing your mental state by tying you to different things. Yeah. Like we're seeing a huge resurgence of like pop punk and pop rock bands and stuff right now. But a lot of that's like people going back to, the nostalgia time and changing their mental state and finding reasons to be happy.
That's why Paramore made a comeback.
Yeah. My favorite band, Yellowcard, is dropping a new album in like 2 days.
Oh.
And I just saw them live with my kid. Like we went and they were at PNC. They were with they were at a date.
Who?
A Day to Remember. And,
was a
Story of the Year, I think.
Was this like they headlined?
No, they were the second band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Day to Remember was headlining.
Ah.
They were kind of like co-headlining. There was 4 bands. It was interesting, but they put on a killer show.
Yeah,
you know, these guys just put on an amazing show. My son has great memories of all the bands we saw that day, and now that's a part of his nostalgia.
I love that.
I saw a really cool. You might find this interesting. I saw a really cool article that was talking about they took a bunch of. This was probably like 15, 20 years ago. They took a bunch of older men that were like in their 50s and 60s, and they put them in a town that was designed to look exactly as they were when they were like 18. And then they played the music from that time and everything, and like the TV shows from that time. Everything was like you just step back into like 1962 or whatever.
Okay.
And their health improved. Their mood improved. They started working out again. They started doing
like
all
that.
the things from that time.
It'd be like that.
And that's one of the reasons why they say people like latch on to certain music and bands and stuff like that, because it like brings them to a space in their head and in their ability to emote and do things.
It's funny you say that because, like, you know what music I listen to a lot? There's one movie, and I'm not going to lie. Jake, you've heard me play these songs, but I'd be playing camp rock, like, too much. And I, like, too much. That, Cheetah Girls, y'all know who I'm talking about. Lemonade Mouth, it don't matter. Like, but I play it happily. I don't give a shit. I could have the girl in my dreams that I want to date so badly in the car, and I'm trying to impress her, and I'm just like, I'm about to put on some camp rock, so just like deal with it. Like,
do you remember this? I remember this.
Press play. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So, hey guys, want to give a quick shout out to Sonorous Wave for sponsoring the Tukr'D Out Podcast Season 2. They ensure the best of service for the high quality sound in all realms of music involvement. So please check them out. So, welcome back. We're going to go into Spark, which you've seen. You've been a part of a Spark because you've done a So Far show. So a big part of Tukr'D Out, which I'm going to bring to the Tukr'D Out Live. Newsflash, there is most likely going to be a Tukr'D Out Live.
Tukr'D Out Live.
Yes, because you were at a Tukr'D Out experience.
Yeah.
But now there's a Tukr'D Out Live most likely happening. So
cool.
So be ready for that.
No more than most likely. Just say it's happening.
Oh, it's happening.
It's happening.
You're right. See, I need artists to do that.
You're already locked in. You want it to happen.
Ugh. Okay, so I have Spark. We're not sponsored by Yes Theory. I love Yes Theory, so we're gonna do some Yes Theory things. Eventually, they'll know about me. They already do somehow, some way. I've spoken about them too much. So we're gonna ask a couple questions each, maybe like 2 questions each, and then not give too long of an answer to them.
Right.
But answer them. So real quick, let's see what we got. Let me make sure these questions are. We got 4 each. Okay. Here's 2. All right, and we'll answer them kind of short. If you want to give a long answer, but you go first. Guess first. What we got? We'll both answer.
What age has been your favorite so far?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I think age-wise, because this maybe wasn't my favorite age, but I remember something that happened during this age, and it was like the coolest thing, and it was the age that I discovered. Oh, this is gonna be random. The age that I discovered WWE, which was age 15.
Okay.
Which is like kind of late to discover WWE.
A little bit.
But I remember being so locked in to WWE. Like, it was the Shield and Daniel Bryan era, and when the Authority was like a bad thing and they were the bad guys, and like Brock Lesnar just beat the Undertaker for the streak. I don't know if you remember, like, the Undertaker.
Peak storytelling.
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. So I locked onto
era.
that, and I think the first ever episode that I locked into, and I'll make this quick, but like Daniel Bryan got like tombstoned by Kane, and I don't know if you remember, like, Kane, like the Brothers of Destruction. Here's an image of both of them, but I just thought, like, during that year, I had first entered high school and I was starting to meet some new people, which was terrifying, but also when I look back on it, exciting. Yeah. But then, like, WWE was a thing. Yeah. And I was so hype off of, like, so that was a good age. 15 was fun.
That's what's
How about you?
God, it's so hard to say.
That was a long answer. Maybe don't do it as long as I did.
I would.
That was long.
I would say I really enjoyed.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Man, I've enjoyed every year so differently.
Can you think of one that like but kind of like how I answered it? Like it may not have been the exact best year, but like it was an age where it's like I remember when this happened.
Part of me wants to say like 23.
2023?
No, like being 23. I don't know. That was like a point where, you know, I was getting married. I was coping with a lot of things like the loss of my dad, but like it was like one of those like coming of age times where like I had to become a man. Probably a lot earlier than like a lot of my peers because like there wasn't an adultier adult kind of deal. But like I did it.
I feel that.
And so like I was able to overcome all the challenges and be really proud of myself and stand on my own 2 feet. Like that kind of set me up for that was a year where I could have folded or I could continue. And I chose to continue.
Nice. Good answer. Who's a stranger you still remember to this day? What made them memorable? So say a name and then like a quick like reason why.
God, I'm so bad with names.
Nah, you've met some people.
I've met a ton of people.
I know that shout out to this girl, Isabella Paris impacted you a lot. You thought she was cool as crud. I don't know if you
Honestly,
she was a stranger when you met her, I think, right? You didn't know her.
No, I'd never met her.
Yeah.
I've listened to her music. It's incredible.
Yeah, she's something.
She's an incredible talent.
She was one of the people, just to give a little backstory, like she was one of the people that I was nervous to put on a So Far show because I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you see a little bit in their applications, but you're like, oh, we'll see. And then like she murdered her performance. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
Dude,
like,
she has a grasp of melody that is just
well, she went to Berkeley,
pretty unmatched. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I thought your answer would be. That doesn't have to be your answer.
No, she's definitely up there. I actually met. I'll tell you a story real briefly.
Okay.
I met a person named Nadea Miranda at a coffee shop.
It's always a coffee shop.
Around the time I was like 23, and she was super incredible. She's sitting there with 2 guitars. She's playing a guitar, and I walked up being a cocky kid, and I was like, "Can I sit in?"
You delirious yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
She had 2 guitars. I was like, "Can I?"
You still delirious yourself?
I was like, "Can I sit in?" She's like, "That's why I brought 2 guitars." We sat down and we jammed for a little bit, and I got to play a couple shows with her and help her record an EP. And come to find out, like, she's like an international recording artist. We still talk every once in a while, like through social media and stuff.
That's great. Authenticity won that day. Okay.
She just re-released one of the things we recorded like a year ago, and it's like trending really nicely on her Spotify.
Okay. All right.
Made a huge impact on me because I never would have recorded any of the other people I did after that. She was like the first real recording thing I ever did.
Wow.
Just from a chance meeting at a coffee shop.
Nice. I like that answer. I'm not going to answer because that was too nice of an answer. How about you do your next question? Let's see what we got.
If you got to spend a year abroad, all expenses paid, where would you go?
Oh, China for sure.
Really?
My sister was from there. Huh. So it's like, I just think that's so important. I think there's certain cultures where it's just like, I need to see that culture.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any real reason except for that. It's like, I want to see where my sister came from.
You have some insight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even, she came into this country and she was 1.5.
Yeah.
So it's like she knew the word booyah, which is no, and that's it.
Gotcha.
And like at that time, China had the one-child policy.
Right.
And like for me, I mean, I love people. I love the women in my life. I grew up with mostly women.
Yeah.
And like that rule was mostly to kind of like make sure that like sons were born.
Right.
Right. And I just found that so like confusing at the time. And now when I look back at it, I still am like, what the like I'm just, but you know, it was a part of their culture at one point. And I find that more now interesting. Now that I'm an adult, I was just like, I mean, I'd love to see that. Like, that's not a reason why I want to go to China. I just find that super interesting.
Oh yeah.
But then like just the overall, I don't even know. I just like I need to see what my sister came from. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
China.
They have
Beijing.
An incredible atmosphere. Like everything you look at with what they're doing with technology and everything else, it would be an interesting trip.
Yeah.
For sure.
How about you?
Probably Japan, actually.
The future. That's what they called it in a podcast I was listening to yesterday.
Well, so I've always been a huge fan of Japanese art and also Japanese cars.
Nissan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have that in my notes. I was curious if we.
Well, like I grew up working on cars, and the first like real car that I got for myself, the first car I ever bought with my own money was a 1983 Datsun 280ZX Turbo.
Yes,
it's the same kind of car that Paul Newman actually raced for SCCA and stuff. My dad used to be a car mechanic, and we spent a ton of time working on it. I still have it. It's actually getting restored right now. We went on my honeymoon in it. Like I've had several Z cars.
We got a photo of that honeymoon. Please tell me we got.
I've got a photo of the car. I can send you. Yeah. But it's I've always just found the way that they draw their lines, the paintings and everything. It's inspired me more than anything to be creative.
And it's a sports car, right? Kind of style.
The sports cars, and then even just Japanese art in general. Like I find it very inspiring, and it inspires me to be creative in my own way. Not anything reminiscent of Japanese culture or creativity, but you see it and it impacts you. It moves you.
All right. I like that answer. Let's do one more, then we'll jump back into some talking. Ooh, I feel like that's a long one. We gotta do one that's kind of quick. Let's see. All right, this is kind of a here or there. Do you make decisions with your head or your heart?
Head.
Jake, what do I do?
Done.
I'm trying to think. Probably. I'm gonna go. Actually, no. I make my decisions a lot more with my heart.
Really?
Which is probably a downfall, because I'm like really. Well, I really am a people. I'm learning not to be, but I'm a people pleaser, like a large one.
Yeah. And
I'm getting better at it. But yeah, heart.
No, I've definitely been there. I've flirted with people pleasing. It's
fun.
It's fun. It's problematic.
It is. It's very problematic
for you, not for anybody else.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So the next thing that I want to get into, and we're gonna have a little debate about this, because I'm not gonna lie. I cannot admit, Jake, you can tell me if you agree, and we'll have Jake, you can give your thoughts real quick on this too. Just like you can name one or the other. I am not into Star Wars. I'm a Marvel guy, but I understand the Star Wars love. But so, what am I doing wrong? Is that why is Star Wars like that? Because that's like that's on my notes.
So like I am a big Star Wars fan.
Yes,
but I also want you to realize like I'm so much older than you. So there was no Marvel.
There was
nothing
enough, right? No.
Yeah, but there was like nothing good cinematic that you could watch and have your mind blown when I was younger.
You're right.
Star Wars was the thing that would blow your mind.
Man, that ended the debate real quick. Dang.
I'm a huge Marvel fan too, though.
Are
like
you?
the new Marvel stuff that has come out, even like the TV shows.
Do you actually like it? A lot of people that I talk to don't like it.
I
like it, but I know it's a lot because people are like, "Ooh, it's too much." Like,
dude, I loved the new Fantastic Four movie.
That was a great movie. Jake, you see that movie? Oh,
it was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
I loved that they did an original approach on it, and they actually took it back to the nostalgic like 1960s style comic books and stuff.
It was good.
Cool.
I was into it. I was like, you know what? Okay, and then. I'm excited to see where they'll take it with Doomsday, because I'm like, this will be interesting. Like,
dude, I took my kids to that, and they were blown away by it. They had the blast.
Dude, the birth scene?
It was wild.
I didn't think, I love Marvel. That was different. Like, Kirby did great.
They handled it.
The Queen did great.
All of that well.
Vanessa killed that. She's my favorite. I mean, she's beautiful, let's be honest. Like, she's a stunning human. But, like, her acting was great.
Oh, yeah, the acting was phenomenal.
Oh, my gosh. Jake, you got to see it. Fantastic Four. Shout out. Gosh. Okay. All right. So you like Marvel. You like Star Wars.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like fantasy,
Yeah, I'm into fantasy, but my thing is that I lock into, like, have you heard of, like, The Magicians or like Supernatural?
Yeah.
Like, that type of stuff is where I get really, oh, man, I will say I just did first get into my first FBI type show, like police show, Blind Spot.
Okay.
Do you know Blind Spot?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, it's with so you know Marvel, so you know the Sith from Thor, the Thor franchise.
Yeah.
So that actress is the main character in this show called Blind Spot.
Gotcha.
And it is Jake saw it. I would lock in every night to this darn show and asked him each night, "Have you not seen this?" And like, oh yeah, he got annoyed. Like it was, That's first show, FBI, police like type show. First one. So
I'll have to check it out.
I do not get into those often. Nope. I wanted to real quick ask about when it comes to your music, one thing that I find interesting, because I don't know if this is a path I want to take. I'm still figuring out if like writing the way that how I write, like if there's certain ways, but you find it very helpful to make sure that you write alone a lot of the time. And I'm curious, just like, I don't know, like I've written with people, but then I've also written alone, but I'm curious just why that is easier, or even just like, what does it help you hone in on? I find it hard sometimes, not always.
Like I said, I do try to tell a story. I try to engage with people through storytelling, but I think one of the hardest parts for me is I'm usually giving my perspective on a thing. Like, She's a Judge in a lot of ways started as me talking about
karma, right?
My tattoos, actually, and
my
beliefs that had brought me to the place where I'm at, where I'm very comfortable and kind of a little bit. I kind of stepped back from religion a little bit, and but I'm still very spiritual. I still very much believe. Well, we won't even go into that, but this was kind of like that started off that way, and a lot of times things kind of morph, and you kind of go on a journey, and a lot of times I think it's really hard for people to go there with you if you're not telling a very specific story.
With you, and okay.
Yeah, so like it started out me kind of like talking about my tattoos, and then it kind of started centering on karma, and then it
because you can only see it through your lens. That's kind of what you're thinking. When
my
you're
topic kind of swithed into being karma's a judge. Like I hate when people are like karma's a bitch. I get what it means. I get what it means, but yeah, it's different.
That song is catchy.
Thanks, man.
Like there's a couple songs you have. I mean, my favorites. I love Delirious. I really love Delirious. But like I listened back a couple days ago, just like your music, just to kind of just like remember. Like I listen to Delirious on the usual because I listen to songs weird. Like if I have a song on a playlist, I'll listen to it. But if I don't listen to radio, like I'm like I have a playlist like that. Those are the songs. So Delirious is on one of my playlists. So I like listen to Delirious.
That's cool.
She's a Judge. I listened to a couple times, but like really kind of just looked at the lyrics and heard it and just like really focused on it. And I really, the way you bounce with that song, y'all gotta listen to it. We'll stop the video and here's like a clip of the song.
That's cool.
But I found that really good. And again, it goes back to like, I mean, my favorite artist with Knox. Like it's in a way he does that a lot too.
Yeah.
So when I ever hear that bounce, it's it's helpful.
That's I think, maybe it's a little bit of my ADHD, but yeah, I feel like a lot of times the topic will change a little bit for me as I'm writing.
Yeah.
And different experiences in my life will kind of come into play, and it's so much work to communicate all that.
I was going to ask if there's a topic that you truly, like, it is so hard to write about. Or, like, maybe you have written about it, and that was like, whew.
I don't really write love songs. Ever.
No?
Ever. I wrote...
The Unstoppable's not a love song.
No, it's not. That's actually about me starting my own business.
Yeah.
No, I wrote one love song when I was probably 17, 18, and that's about it.
Okay.
And it's not something that I've ever, like, I don't think I've ever been in a relationship. And of course I've been in love. I've been married for 15 years. Actually, we just celebrated our 15th anniversary.
Whew.
Been together for 17. I'm very much in love with my wife, but that's just never a topic that I have felt like I've had anything unique to add to the conversation.
Oh.
And I don't write something. I mean, there's tons of love songs that matter to me, but I've never thought I have anything to add to the global conversation on the topic.
That's interesting.
And that's where, like I say, a lot of my stuff is perspective based, because everything else I've written, I feel like I'm adding a voice to the conversation. I feel like I'm saying something, maybe not something that's never been said, but maybe in a way that could provoke thought about the topic at least.
Yeah.
I got nothing for love.
Well, and you told that's what's interesting, the way you're speaking on that. And Jake, this is interesting because when we had a writing session, I was like, Zach, I would love to like write with you or even just like brainstorm thoughts about how to write songs.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was interesting during that was that you called me out at one point because you're like, that's unique what you just wrote down, or even just how you described it in your own brain. And I believe we were talking about how I don't remember what the song was about, but it was something about how like my I don't want. It's something about how like I don't want to lose focus on people, and I forget exactly how I worded it, but I remember you stopped me mid-sentence and said like, what you just said is not normal, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
The way you explained that,
it was a unique perspective. You know, you were, because I remember that you were talking about how a lot of times you kind of feel that object permanence of if somebody's not in front of you, you're not necessarily aware of their existence. And sometimes it could be a year before you want to reach out to them.
ADHD.
And that's something, I haven't really heard addressed a lot in anything that's seeped into pop culture. You know, we talk about it in, reels, but we don't necessarily talk about it in
you're right.
art.
And a song and an art.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And it's funny because I don't know. Here's my new, I guess this is coming out. I'll be able to share the cover art for this now. But like Simple is coming out soon, which is great. I don't know if you've seen some of the reels on it.
I saw a couple clips, yeah.
But Simple's funny because that's like an opposite of my life. Like I wrote it not thinking. Because that's
did you write that yourself? Or
I didn't. So I wrote it with someone in Nashville. Nice. Shout out to Ryan Rasmussen. He's like one of my idols with producing. Like I look up to him a lot. And we wrote a song which was not intentionally supposed to be for me. And then I listened to it more and more and more, and I was like, I like this. Like, oh, I like how I sound. Should I like put this out? And then finally, I was convinced. I remember the final straw was my mother. Like, she told me she gave the song to a friend of hers, and I was like, "You're not supposed to show anybody." Like, and the friend was like, "That's your son. He has to put that out." And when I don't know, it takes one energy like that to be like, "Okay, I'll put the song out," because
I mean, at a point, what are you waiting for? Like, there's tons of artists that put out project after project, and nobody cares until their third or fourth project, and then they just take all the other stuff down that nobody liked, and they move forward.
Well, and that's
with this
my
new
problem.
Image. I mean,
I know there's not a conventional way to go after that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's, and maybe this is my fault for watching too many like Instagram reels or like listening to the same artist all the time. But it just seems like there's a route there, and it's like, well,
I don't think there is.
Yeah, you're right. There's not. There's a route that I'm seeing.
I mean, dude, honestly, so like you talk about how you really like Unstoppable, right?
I do. It's a good song.
That song makes me cringe.
Really?
I can't hardly listen to it because we did it in a bedroom. The way the production was done, there were so many things that like just drive me nuts about it.
Dude, that guitar that you have.
Oh, the guitar is insane. Like I love the pieces and the way it assembled, but just like so many things about the release, it felt more like a demo and like it wasn't ready.
So Simple was a demo. You know that what I'm releasing is a demo.
Yeah, well,
like crazy,
dude. This song continues to be streamed more.
Dude,
every week
song's good.
Than all of the new songs that I released combined. Oh, man. And it's getting streamed more each week, and people love it. Like to the point we're actually thinking about taking all the original files, because we still have all the original recordings, and having it remixed and mastered.
Jeez.
And re-releasing, because you can actually just swap the files.
Yeah.
So you can just put out a more professional version of it.
Man.
Take it from demo to professional. But dude, it's all part of the growth arc, though.
Well, you know what's great is I'm learning, and this is something that's great. This is why I'm happy that podcasts are a thing, because some of the artists that I look up to the most, they're starting to tell the more like specific things that are not like the perfection of music. So to give an example, like Julia Michaels, like Issues, love that song. Love that song. Yeah. That's a demo. I didn't know that. Yeah. Like her voice on it is what was first sang.
That's one of the reasons why it sounds so raw,
dude,
and iconic.
I love that. I needed to hear that because it's like, okay, so it didn't go through like the perfection side of music of like mastering to get to that. And then back to your point of like kind of being cringe about a song, like I didn't know that Ed Sheeran didn't want to release Shape of You.
No. Yeah.
Like he didn't want it. He didn't. He was like, I don't want this. Like, It's not part of what I want. I think it's a playful song, but
you
and
wanted
then
to sell it. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I find that very. Did you know that, Jake? Like I find that very. I needed that. I need that consistently with stories of music because a lot of these songs, and I hear it from Knox. Like Knox doesn't like sneakers anymore.
Yeah.
Like he's straight up said, like, oh, this song's too much. No. And then Julie Michael, another thing in an interview, she said she hates If the World Was Ending. She hates that song.
Dude, you got to ask yourself though, without sneakers, would Knox have broke?
No, for sure not.
I mean, like the other
So
songs
it's
on that
thankful.
album were incredible, but
Yeah.
that one made people be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Well, and it was the first one ever put out. Like
Yeah.
his story is so. We could go into hours about his story, but we're talking about Zac here, so we'll no later on. I also real quick. I think this is really cool because you collaborated. I think it was on Delirious. Oh no, I think it was She's a Judge. I could be wrong, but Micah, was it Micah?
Yeah,
on She's a Judge.
She actually sang background vocals on everything on the new
Seriously?
project, and she was one of the producers. Yeah.
Shout out FallLift.
Yeah.
So
both Micah and Steven,
they're
producers
cool.
on the project.
Steven, the other member of other member of FallLift.
Other member of FallLift. So
FallLift.
Stephen Hall, he played drums and produced. Micah sang on all of the tracks and produced. And honestly, they were instrumental in kind of directing how that overall sound would be.
Ooh.
And honestly, there were
on
some of the
She's a Judge.
Yeah, I mean
Or on a
on
bunch of
all
those?
the songs, but like
They're cool cats. I never
She's
got them
a
on a Soulfly
Judge.
show.
Micah's upper harmony, it
Mhm.
really sends it. Like
dude.
for me, like when I heard her record that part, I was like, okay, this is
This is a good song.
perfect.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
I never got them on a Soulfly show. I'm very sad about that.
Oh yeah, they're incredibly talented
They're incredible.
humans.
I saw them I met Steven at the Lisa's Open or
Yeah.
at the Goalies thing. So I was happy to see him like live, which is good.
Oh yeah. No, Micah's voice gives me chills, man. Every time I hear it, like I was actually nervous about going in and recording songs with her singing on them because her voice is so good. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna blend this, but we really found just a great meshing in the studio. And honestly, when I listen through like the way her voice accents certain things and sets it off, it makes the record for me.
She built different. All right, doing good, Jake. All right, so we're gonna get into. We have 2 segments left.
All right,
I've had a great combo. This is a great start to season 2. In my house with stuff inspired by the fear of being normal. Y'all don't forget that. So this is gonna be like a random question game.
I am terrified of being normal.
Dude, I'm terrified. Oh my goodness. I don't think it's a thing.
I didn't
but
even
like,
see that.
Oh, dude.
That's awesome.
That's my baby. I'm going to ask questions. I want you to answer quickly. And then if I may stop you just in case I hear something that I think is like, wait, what? Like,
you got it.
So these are just random. They're quick.
Yellow.
Rapid fire. Okay. If animals could talk, which one would be the biggest drama queen?
Tigers.
Okay.
They're very petty.
Ah. What is one of your worst habits?
Speaking before I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you sing in the shower?
No.
I do too. Nah, I don't actually. Nope. What is the worst job you've ever had?
Probably being a service advisor at an automotive dealership. Yeah. That was awful.
What is the best invention ever made?
Best invention ever made. The guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, accurate. What were you almost named?
David.
Oh.
Yeah.
You look like, okay.
Yeah, which I actually was named David, but my parents decided to call me by my middle name.
Ah.
Yeah, which is Zachariah. They're like, he doesn't look or act like a David.
Favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cap.
Spider-Man.
Chris Evans. Cap. Biggest pet peeve? There's one.
People who talk in the theater.
Oh, yeah. That one sucks. Oh. Trying to think of a good pet peeve. Like, what's a good one? Let me think. There's a couple. Well, we're gonna talk about a deep one for me, and I've this one pisses me off. But when I'm having a convo and people can't, and this is like kind of often, but I've learned to kind of but like people are deliberately not looking at you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're making sure that you don't get eye contact. Like they're just like, hi. Like, hi.
Just like
Like,
stare off into the light.
I
the rest of the
hate, because it's deliberate. Like people, this is another thing I've
Totally.
noticed. Like that is a true sign of like, you're not, I don't care about you.
Yeah.
Ugh. Hate it. Anyway.
Trying to end the conversation.
Oh, hate it. Anyway, okay. The last thing we're going to do. We doing good, Jake? We're doing so good. This is a great first episode. It's easy. It's easy. And I had coffee beforehand. Thank you, Mugs. Mugs Coffee. Thank you, baby. We're also sponsored by Sonorous Wave, and there will be a commercial about that. We love Sonorous. Sonorous Wave, not Sonorous. Sonorous Wave. Salif is going to kill me if I just say Sonorous. Sonorous Wave. Here's an image of them. So I always like to do something that I do so I host game nights at the house, and the whole goal behind the game nights is to really kind of not only play the games, but I like sometimes to do this thing called a honey roast. The whole deal with the honey roast is I want the people that come over to the house or that are on the podcast to know like what they're worth to me and what I've just noticed that I either appreciate about them or I look up to. Mm-hmm. And one thing that and I'll say a couple things to you about that, and one thing I'll start with is just I remember specifically not being aware of just not only how good of a storyteller you were, but just your view, your angle on some of those stories was just so, I was very inspired when I first heard Delirious, She's a Judge, just to write a little bit differently, and I give you a lot of props for that, because it really was that night that I heard you at the songwriters round that started to appear, and I was like, that's different. Not only do I want him on a So Far show, but I kind of want to write that way. Yeah, and cool. I've applied that in a couple different ways. Another thing that I just really appreciate is like you're very quick. You've helped me a couple times of just like simply being like, yeah, dude, what do you need? Or like, yeah, dude, like I'll perform. And it was I don't think I've ever hit you like crazy last minute or anything like that, but your music and the shows that I've put you on when it comes to So Far has been placed, in my opinion, very well. Like in a great group of people, and usually when you perform, like people are like, damn, that was good. Like, and I remember specifically we were at a show where you were the only like single act. There was bands, and it was at Jambox. We love Jambox. And I remember the other acts and the other people that were there were not your style of music. It was different. It was like R&B, a lot more soul. Yeah. Not that you don't have soul. You have soul, but it was just a different vibe. It was a
wildly different vibe.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember all of them, like, while I was watching your set, every one of those people were jamming hard to your songs. It was so cool.
That was probably one of my favorite acoustic shows that I've done.
It was so perfect.
That was so intimidating too, because it was a full band.
Oh my
me with a guitar and then a full band.
Well, that was the point.
What is happening?
That was well, I knew you could hang in there.
It went great. Yeah,
it went so good, and I appreciated it because because again, one thing I do with Tukr'd Out is I'll never have just a one way of artists on here, right? Like I want to have so many different artists, and just in that moment, it just showed that like music is everywhere and it's liked by everyone, and someone that is in a completely different genre could like something else in another completely different genre. So I just love that moment for you, and also just like your advice that you've given me in the past has not only been helpful, but I've thought about it a lot. And when you have ADHD and when it's hard to focus, like those are things that you really want to have, but it's hard to have those things. And one thing you gave me, and again, I give you props for that. The only other, I'll say, I love all the artists I've interviewed, but Tukr'd Robins, here's a picture of Tukr'd, was the only other artist that really did this to me in person. They just like stopped me in my tracks before I kind of said maybe like a downer on myself, and we're like, no, Tucker, like you're doing good. Yeah. Or like this shit is good. And I don't know, you've done that a couple times. You did it when we did a writing session. You also did it before we started the pod of just being like, nah, Tucker, like this is happening. You're going to kill it.
Yeah.
And I just, it's I don't forget those things, and I don't want to forget, but sometimes I do. Yeah. And it's like, and I don't want to, because that's just how my brain works. But you've had some very inspiring stuff for me, and gosh, the way you play guitar is just something I'm not used to. Whenever I see it, I'm like, yes, like it's just so happy to see that shit live whenever you do an acoustic show. Yeah. And hopefully in the future with a band, of course.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank you, because thank you for coming on the pod. Season 2, first one.
This is cool. Yeah.
So,
Thanks,
any
man.
last
Thanks
words?
for having me.
Anything that's coming out? So, I think this pod will come out like maybe 2 weeks from now. I got a lot of stuff to do before that, but like anything that's coming that we should know about. We have the December stuff.
Yeah. So December 6th, I mentioned, we're going to be dropping the songs back as a collection with Unified Art. We're also doing a celebratory show that evening at Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Ooh, not far down the road.
Not far down the road. It's right in the Charlotte area. So, please come out to that. That would be super awesome. We're going to have a lot of guests. We'll have Stephen Hall and Micah Cottingham playing on that show.
FallLift will be there?
Yeah. Jason Atkins is going to come out, Greasy Keys.
Okay.
So we're going to be joined by a lot of special guests and we're going to play the whole album, but we're also going to play just like tons of covers. And we're going to have a party.
Nice. Let's go. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time. Much love.